Hey guys, it's Austin back with the first Halloween display since the return of the YouTube channel. I do want to say in the beginning, this will be used for both Facebook and YouTube upload. As you know, I don't know if maybe if you guys have watched like the return to YouTube video. I think I may have it as unlisted, but I did mention in that video that I did do some content for Facebook for my holiday display. So I have over the years stopped narrating my videos as much as they used to be. However, for the purposes of this video, I probably will narrate just a little bit just to fill in the gaps for some of the YouTube viewers and such. Because I don't know how much of you guys are in the inflatable community on YouTube that actually watch my videos, but I figure I'd just fill in gaps for any of you guys that are collectors and such. So enough talking, I'll get right to it, and I'll just, like I said, intermittently, I might interject and say a few things. To be honest, I believe this is probably my favorite part of the display. I absolutely love these free inflatables all put together, especially this one. I love the 2017 animated Lowe's Fire and Ice Dragon with the crystal ball. Still going strong. You can't destroy this guy. For you inflatable collectors or seasoned decorators, this is the 2014 version of Pop Goes the Evil that has the cheap fan on it. I had always wanted to get a Jimmy that had like a built-in sound box, and this happened to be the first one I got. I got it off a guy off Mercari. It don't really pop out as well as it used to, probably back when it was brand new, because it has a gash in its ear that I do need to still sew up on it and patch that, and hopefully it might help it inflate and animate a little better. But other than the clown's head, it really inflates pretty good. And plus that sound box is crystal clear still as well, so definitely a good used add to the inflatable display, and I really like it next to my clown with the mouth that I got from Lowe's last year. Need to fix the mummy's light in his head because it's burnt out. Random note, my fogger just went off. That's also another new addition to my display since I've been absent from YouTube. Here's my other newest soundbox addition to the display this year, the 2023 Hide-and-Eek Werewolf with LED C7s, animation, and a soundbox. You can get this guy at Target, and I definitely recommend him. I believe, if I'm correct, I think this is like the first like werewolf design that's like a solo werewolf design for inflatables. I know, I think I heard like somebody say, I think there was like one that was like on a BJ's design with like a tree, I think back years ago, but to my knowledge, I believe this is like the only one that we have a werewolf by itself, I think, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, this is the recreation of the vampire popping out of the coffin that was sold on Yard Inflatables back in 2019 and 2020, I believe. I wish I could have the original of this, but it's kind of like the Pop Goes the Evil. They're kind of, you better grab them when you see them and such, because they're kind of hard to get your hands on them anymore. But I think that the recreation does just as well. I did also want to add that this graveyard scene will probably be expanded as the season goes on. So hopefully in some of my next videos that are released to the channel, I'm hoping that this might be a bit more fully filled in, because I was going to add some more tombstones down here below, like the ghost tombstone, and these ones over here underneath, like the little Reaper animatronic my neighbors loaned me. And hopefully I'll put a few more in over here around behind these two in the fence with the ground breaker that lights up, and then down here maybe below the vampire too. So hoping that this might be expanded as time goes on, but I got up what I had last year and such. See here, I moved my wall display to my neighbor's fence over here that they've allowed me to use for my projectors. We got the Spooky Storm jack-o'-lantern one from Lowe's back, I believe, in 2019, 2020. And you also got the Ghost Flame and one that projects Beware onto the fence, although I might have to re-angle it because it looks like it's up like right against the top of it and it's kind of difficult to see it. But definitely an idea that I always told my neighbors that I wish we had had in previous years, because I think it fills the fencing a little bit better than the red brick on the side of my house. I'd like to add on to this more, but I don't know if I have enough cord space where I've got everything hooked up right now, but that's pretty filled in on this end though. Also happened to pick this guy up from a guy on Mercari in New York too. Definitely glad I picked this up, since I did a big colossal display over here this year, and I've also got the Airflows Frankenstein I reviewed in one of my last videos as well. But yeah, this guy's becoming harder and harder to find, and I'm glad I picked him up. He was sold at Lowe's back in, I believe, 2018 if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was 20. Yeah, it was 2018 when this one was sold, but definitely glad I picked this up. Getting harder to find like some of the other ones I've mentioned. And I don't know if you guys noticed in some of the other angles, but my 18-foot Vampire Jack actually has a nose. I figured out from some people on some inflatable groups online that if you contact Jimmy, they will send you a decal nose to put on yours if you want to have a nose on your Vampire Jack and such. So I had reached out to them and they just sent my Vampire Jack's nose over the weekend, and I had put it on today because I took a trip out of town over the weekend. But definitely think it looks better. Actually looks a bit more like Jack Skellington now, and I'm not huge into Nightmare Before Christmas, but I would like to eventually start buying like more Nightmare Before Christmas in the future, like if I start rotating other models out in my display. But this so far is my only NBC that I have currently. My fog machine is dispensing. Definitely one of my favorite investments that I've made over time to the display, having this machine and such that I got from Spirit with the timer on it. Also happened to found this old animatronic skeleton popping from behind the pumpkin that we got at, I think, at Old Time Pottery or somewhere like years and years ago. You guys don't know what Old Time Pottery is. There's one down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which ain't far from where I live, but this is definitely an antique. It reminds me of the days back when my grandma used to decorate and such, and we had all these old, like, little, I was trying to think the word of them, like reflective, I guess, Halloween decorations that move and animate and they light up well. Also got her old little blow mold witch up here that we ended up getting from her after she unfortunately passed away years back and such. Still missing some fog down here. And you can probably tell by the rename of my channel, I'm a Tennessee fan. So this is my Tennessee football section right here. Smoky. For those of you on Facebook, the reason I don't have the white one anymore is unfortunately because his adapter died, and I think he got like an electrical short in it, and I just ended up having to trash it, and unfortunately that design is no longer available really well, so I think it's going to become rare over time. So if I can get another white one, I definitely want to try to figure out where I can get one at. But I did get the orange one they started selling this year at Sam's Club, so thought I'd just fill that in for you guys that remember the white one from Facebook last year. It kind of looked like this one over here that my neighbors have in their display. We're all Vol fans here. Low-key, this may be my favorite addition during the off season, other than like the Frankenstein and the Reaching Pumpkin Reaper and the Gothic 16-foot Reaper. I love this thing when I set eyes on it last year when it was being sold at BJ's, and I knew when I saw they had a few left on yard, I definitely wanted to pick this one up because it kind of pays homage to a model that I had back in my display years ago. I believe it was the 2012 Walmart Haunted Tree. It didn't reach and it didn't have a special kaleidoscope in it, but I felt it kind of gave a good tip to the hat to that design, so I figured I'd pick it up to kind of pay homage to that one. I say you could probably find a video on my YouTube channel if you went and looked. It's under now Rocky Top Inflatables for those of you on Facebook as well if you want to go check it out. Like I mentioned earlier, I did have an inflatable. I said that I was really dreading to retire, and this one, I don't know. There's just something about her. I really like her. She's the Dancing 2014 Witch, and this year she just hasn't animated well, and she ain't standing as good anymore. And her cat down there to the side of her never really has stood in any of the years that I've ever displayed her. But this year she's particularly doing bad, and she's part of the reason I ended up buying the animated Soundbox Werewolf from Target, because I wanted to replace her with another animated, and where I'm such a sucker for like the classic monsters and such, the werewolf was kind of the last monster in the display I didn't have represented aside from the Frankenstein, which I'll get to him here in a minute. He's like literally right next door, but This is probably going to be her last appearance in my display on video, because I'm also going to try to get the Haunted Mansion organ player too here soon, so I can get another natural Jimmy Soundbox one as well. And I kind of want to get a brand new one, because I've never had an organ player in my display, and as a collector, I've never really had one and such, because they always kind of costed a lot of money or were rare and such. So I hate to say goodbye to this one, but I do have a good replacement in mind still. I just can't get over how massive this guy is. Like, I mean, that 20-foot pumpkin stack that I have from at home over there is massive, but this guy just seems even taller. I think it's just his arm width and such, and just his scale, but this guy just seems so much taller compared to my other Colossals. I even said that like a lot in my freaking like review video on my channel for YouTube. If you want to go check that channel out again, I got like a full 20-minute in-depth review on my channel of this guy. Well, that's my 2023 Halloween display as of right now at night. Like I said, I expect the Dancing Witch will not be featured in another video. I might feature in a day view just for old time's sake, but here pretty soon I'm probably going to try to order the Haunted Mansion organ player if it's still available on 'Tis Your Season. And I'm also going to try to expand my graveyard a little more, and depending on the week and the video, I might have the ETSU football helmet out for those of you on Facebook, because I do have an ETSU model too, since that is my alma mater where I went to college and such. You don't know what ETSU stands for YouTube. It's the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. So you might see a blue football helmet with a golden E on the side of it, and I have that one, and I'm rotating it and the Tennessee one out week by week because I have so much plugged into my house right now. But that should be all for now. For you YouTubers, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video or review, whichever one comes first.